Well, guess what? The next big Star Wars
Shut up. No way.
animated show is focusing on Darth Maul. And I would expect Sam Witwer to be back to voice the main.
There's another Star Wars animated show. It's going to be about Darth Maul. No, shut the hell up. Don't tell me you're going to give a Son of Dathomir.
Don't say it.
We're actually going to get what I've been, like, pleading for forever is Son of Dathomir comics.
Fulfill your destiny. TheorySabers.com.
All right, guys, we're going to try something new today. Josh hit me up on April 1st telling me to check out his latest video because something big and legit. And I'm like, hold on. So I started watching a little bit of it, and I was like, nah, dude, this is April 1st. I don't like April Fools. I never upload stuff on April Fools. I just don't like it. I don't like the day. He actually was pretty serious about it. So he wanted me to do a reaction to it. And some of you in the live stream today and yesterday have also asked me if I've seen this video. I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't actually finish it. So I figured we would go right ahead and check it out because there's some major leak or spoiler or something like that for Ahsoka Season 2. And let's see what's in there. Like the first minute or so is about that he heard a leak. So it's basically giving you like a buffer to pass by it in case you don't want spoilers. So let's jump right ahead here.
It seemed cool, but even I had no idea how much Dave was trying to do in this season. He is swinging for the absolute fences. First thing we want to talk about, Abeloth. Abeloth, 100% confirmed, a huge part of season 2. They cast somebody really good for Abeloth. And of course, this confirms the long-held theory by me that the thing that was calling to Balin in season 1 was Abeloth. I was the first person to make a big theory video about this back in the day after...
It's true. Back in the day, he was, I think, the first person to make an Abeloth video. He thought it was Abeloth. I thought it was going to be perhaps the father and that he's not dead. Because the mountain there that is sparkling was the same mountain that Anakin was climbing towards in the Clone Wars in the Mortis arc, which was also having that little star at the top sparkling in the distance. So I figured, okay, well, probably, Anakin saw the father in there, so we're probably going to see him again. But Abeloth would be something entirely different.
Second thing that's crazy about Ahsoka Season 2, and I'm curious as to how the normies will respond to this, but you're getting a shit ton of Anakin Skywalker. Anakin is a huge part of the story. He's a series regular. In Force Ghost form, he's probably going to be hanging out with Sabine and Ahsoka a lot. And honestly, that makes perfect sense if you're following the big-time lore, the stuff with the Celestials, the One, the Father, the Daughter, the Son, all the Mortis stuff. That's absolutely what Dave is cooking here. My own speculation is that Anakin Skywalker is the father and that this whole thing with the mother is connected to some big time Force thing, huge lore breaking potential.
Interesting. If Anakin were to become the father, I mean, that was what he was originally supposed to kind of do. And he chose a different path, of course, but that's where they want to take it, where he is, no one's really ever gone.
No one's ever really gone.
Anakin's been my favorite character since before he was popular again with his introduction in Kenobi. But before that, I mean, people were just kind of like, well, get over it. Anakin's long gone, blah, blah, blah. Anakin's my favorite character, and I've always wanted to see more of him. So, if done right, that's great. But also, if done wrong, not good, because I think I know more about Anakin than anyone I've ever met. I'm a hard critic on that one.
And oh my God, Boba Fett himself is going to be in the show again, probably playing Rex or some other characters, one of the clones. And as a small side note here, I was also told that Tim Morrison has a big announcement for Star Wars Celebration next month. I think it's probably Boba Season 2, and hopefully they actually just make him a badass bounty hunter again. But that I'm not 100% sure on. I was just told he has a big announcement. He's going to be in Ahsoka Season 2. That's cool. All right, next crazy thing. Ewan McGregor is in the show. I know, but it's true. Obi-Wan is in the show, not only for flashbacks. Mandela Greenberg, or whatever her name is, the youngest.
He's using a toy.
Ahsoka, she's back too, so they're going to do flashbacks with Hayden, Ewan, and young Ahsoka. Oh my God.
Right, so we've heard this before. I remember I made a video on that a little while ago, and that if that's actually legit, that would be pretty crazy, dude.
Finally getting it. Probably more extensive than what they did in season 1. That's probably sort of a trial run. They were, just figuring out how to potentially do that in season 1. I think they can expand on it now in season 2. But here's the thing that's crazy. I'm pretty sure Ewan McGregor is not just back for flashbacks, and there's something crazy going on with Force Ghosts, cosmic nature, the Ones, Abeloth. Oh my God. And that leads me to the next one, man. Friggin' Liam Neeson. listen, he said he was done, but he also said he was never going to be in that Kenobi show before he actually appeared in it. Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon will be in Ahsoka season 2, likely in Force Ghost form as well. This has to do with the crazy. I mean, like, guys, are you listening to what I'm saying right now? They're going crazy with Force Ghost and cosmic.
So one thing that I always wanted to see, especially after they killed Luke, I was like, look, they could and I did this in some fan fiction, they could literally create an episode of Star Wars, episode 9 or whatever it could have been, or 8.5, where we're in the other realm, right? So when Anakin was transferring into the Force, this is from the book, The Rise and Fall of Darth Vader. When Anakin was transferring, like about to die in front of Luke, he heard a voice, and that was Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan is telling him, you know, basically, you only got a few more seconds until you cease to exist, so you need to listen to what I'm about to tell you, so you can transfer yourself into the Force and essentially be immortal. Otherwise, you're gone. Poof. Anakin listened to him, and then he became a Force ghost. So, like, that whole world is something we haven't really explored before, and I think it would be pretty freaking interesting to go in there. Now, again, and this is, you know, a difference between me saying this today versus me saying this years ago. It's at how are they going to do it, right?
Force, Jedi, Sith, Abeloth-esque stuff. They're absolutely going for it. I can't believe it. This one's gonna blow your freaking mind.
No. Don't tell me you're gonna put Star Killer in there. That's not. There's no way.
Make your butthole quiver. Sam Witwer, fan favorite actor from the Clone Wars, from Rebels. Famously did Maul for so long. Sam Witwer is going to play the son in
okay, that's pretty cool.
Flashbacks to Mortis in Ahsoka.
Damn, we're going to get live action flashbacks? That's crazy.
Season 2. Oh my God, we're finally getting, and he's actually going to play the son in the flashbacks. They have apparently cast actors to play the father and then the daughter from the Mortis flashbacks as well. They might even be the voice actors. I'm not sure. But you're getting Sam Witwer. And
what the fuck, bro? Why do they do Sam Witwer like that? Josh, who's your Photoshop guy?
I'm just throwing another bonus thing here. It's absolutely nuts. If you're a huge Darth Maul fan, well, guess what? The next big Star Wars
Shut up. No way.
Animated show is focusing on Darth Maul. And I would expect Sam Witwer to be back to voice the main.
There's another Star Wars animated show. It's going to be about Darth Maul. No, shut the hell up. Don't tell me you're going to give a Son of Dathomir.
Don't say it.
We're actually going to get what I've been, like, pleading for forever. Is Son of Dathomir comics?
Darth Maul in that show. And then finally, what I can reveal is that there's obviously a Thrawn element happening in the main Star Wars galaxy. I don't know how much of that will be in the actual season 2 of Ahsoka, but I know for sure we're going to get a scene with Leia and Mon Mothma talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn. And the reason that's so cool is because we know they still have a plan to use Leia and Han and Luke most likely in Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire movie, which I think is still the movie that he's planning to do in 2027 or 2028. And we haven't seen Leia a lot in the Mando verse. We obviously got a lot of young Luke, and they've tried different things with that. It seems to work. And Leia is mentioned in the first season of Ahsoka, but we don't see her. It's just C-3PO. So now we're going to finally get full-on Leia. It'll be interesting to see what she looks like. How's that performance? How does it look digitally, etc. And it's going to set up the Heir to the Empire thing. Thrawn is this massive threat now. Maybe we'll get an update as far as what he's doing on Dathomir. I'm not really sure. But that concludes everything I'm allowed to talk about with Ahsoka season 2. And that's the thing, guys. There's even more. There's even more crazy shit that I'm holding on to that I can't talk about. But my God, this has me excited. Now, look.
Is it bad that I'm more excited for like the Darth Maul showing up in his animated show for Son of Dathomir? Like, if you haven't seen Son of Dathomir, read the comic, you're missing out, dude. That is one of the most interesting and exciting aspects of the Clone Wars that we never got to see.
This might not be it. You might not like the cameos, the crazy Force, weird wizard stuff, and that's fine. Maybe you like Andor. Totally cool. They spent $700 million to get you 2 seasons.
$750 million, actually.
Because I'm all out of money! All out of...
A show that I think...
Let that sink in. $750 million.
We call this a diplomatic solution?
Sucks ass. Congratulations. Go watch Andor and get the fuck out of my face. Because for me, this is Star Wars. This is what it's about, man. This is the real shit. And I'm so excited. Legitimately, man. I was excited for Ahsoka season 2. This is my kind of Star Wars, and I love what Dave Filoni did in a lot of his animated stuff. And you know, season 1 rather had some incredible moments. Episode 5, episode 6, some of my favorite live action Star Wars. My God! And then the last 2
Yeah, episode 6 was dope. Episode 7 and 8 were doo-doo caca.
What?
So it's kind of sucked ass. But after hearing all this, man, oh my God. Like, I just can't believe the ambition. The fucking balls on Dave Filoni to go for it this hard with weird, mystical force ghosts, weird, you know.
Well, let's see if Dave Filoni does it, you know. And, man, I used to be a very big Dave Filoni fan until The Acolyte. It was withering away after Book of Boba, Kenobi, Mando Season 3. And then once we got The Acolyte, dude, that show, like, fully turned me to realizing, essentially taking the fucking red pill from Morpheus, being like, this is bullshit. This is just too far, man.
Mother type stuff, Mortis, flashbacks. My God, there's some crazy shit going on here. So that's really cool. And now that I've hyped you up about that, let's talk about the bad news. It's pretty much everything else. The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. Man, unfortunately, this movie is exactly what we thought it was going to be. It's a side mission, weird movie that seems fucking pointless. And there's no big surprises. There's no cameos. There's no Luke currently in this thing. Apparently, it's literally just a movie with Din Djarin, Grogu, and then Rada. And Rada, I believe, is the son of friggin' Jabba the Hutt. And apparently, he's literally just one of the main characters. It's just those three hanging out, doing kind of side mission weird stuff. And unfortunately, my source told me it's going terribly. Nobody's excited about it, and it was probably a movie just forced to be made because they couldn't figure out other films. My source thinks it's gonna bomb in the box office and potentially do a lot of damage to the Star Wars brand. By the way, my advice to the people at
Big surprise.
Lucasfilm that are watching this video because it got flagged for revealing a bunch of actual information
Damn, it shit got flagged.
from your studio. I don't actually know that to be true, by the way. I'm just saying some stuff I heard from someone that said stuff. But I have some advice from you, Lucasfilm. Fucking don't do this. Make it way cooler. Put Luke Skywalker in it. Honestly, doesn't even matter. You can make a bullshit ass, weird ass Rada the Hutt movie with Din and Grogu for an hour and a half, and then have Luke Skywalker fly in and save everybody and do some wicked, crazy ass shit in the third act, and people will forgive you, and the movie will actually make money. But if you seriously,
We've already got that. We had that before with season 2, and then we were all anticipating, you know, season 3 to be absolutely wild, insane. And then Book of Boba Fett happened. A little bit of Luke, a little bit of Grogu, and then he just literally like Ubered Grogu off. Like, see ya, bitch. And then that was it. It was literally it. The Din Djarin show after that, essentially.
think you're going to be able to make a Mando Grogu side mission thing that soft sets up a bunch of shit but never fully commits to anything awesome in its own right, I think you're in for a rough time. I think that movie's going to really underperform. I mean, I might see it once and then be like, what?
Yeah, I heard the villain for that is Embo, freaking bounty hunter from the Clone Wars that like nobody really remembers.
What the So that's kind of bad. And honestly, all the stuff we've heard about how bad it is for Lucasfilm are true. This thing is a disaster. Let's talk about Kathleen Kennedy a little bit here. So according to my source here, Jon Favreau is basically going to be done with Lucasfilm after this Mandalorian era wraps up. Probably means the Mando Grogu movie, which I've heard John is not even that thrilled about making. He literally directed some of it from...
He probably hasn't been able to really have control of his project for probably since season 2, I would say. And it's probably been difficult the whole time.
Home because he was sick of Kathy's shit and potentially had the flu because of Kathy too.
Yeah.
Point is, man, it's not all sunshine and rainbows over there. And Jon Favreau is for sure not taking over as president or co-president. He doesn't want any part of that shit. He's going to come do this movie. He's probably going to help Dave set up his seasons and then the Heir to the Empire movie. John might even do another season of Mandalorian or maybe some other show. But in 3 to 4 years, when Star Wars wraps up this Mandalorian era, Jon Favreau is out from what I've heard. He's not even going to be involved in Lucasfilm like basically at all. And the culture over there is crumbling. It's as bad as you would think. However, However, here's something that's kind of interesting, and I do want to kind of end on this note of positivity. I was asking my source about all these Rey movies and the craziness that's going on with Star Wars as a brand overall, and he told me that there is a potential overhaul happening there, and that a lot of the stuff that Kathleen Kennedy has been talking about via the press, because she basically just leaks stuff to the press, like from her camp, and that's how we know about her plans to do like 6 Rey movies, and even though she's retiring, she's still going to stay on and produce movies and like look over Dave Filoni's shoulder for like 6 more years. I get the impression that that is Kathy using mouthpieces in the press to try to present one side of a story, but there are other people at Lucasfilm, and I'm hoping that the other people include Dave Filoni, and these other people actually want to take Star Wars in a different direction, and they want to overhaul the entire thing. By the way, it's possible this overhaul idea is actually coming from Kevin Feige, and there's a lot of rumors that Feige could actually come in and be involved in Star Wars. I technically think that's still possible, and I wouldn't hate it. But the thing I know for sure, the thing that's giving me a lot of comfort here, is that it's not as though everybody's just on board with Kathy's way of doing things forever. And there are definitely people at Lucasfilm, and perhaps even people at Disney over top of Lucasfilm, that want major change with how Star Wars currently operates, which I think would be great because currently it sucks ass, frankly. So hopefully that side wins, and hopefully we don't get a ton of Rey movies developed, and hopefully we don't have years and years of Kathleen Kennedy still producing movies, even though
Look, Kathleen, we all know. Gotta get out of there.
she's no longer the president. I think Star Wars needs freshness. I'm really looking forward to Ahsoka season 2. A lot of those rumors to me sound incredible. That's my version of Star Wars. That's what I want Star Wars to be. And so I hope season 2 of Ahsoka will be very successful. It's probably going to come out basically around the same time as the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which might actually be a stinker and might upset a lot of fans. And so it will be good to have Ahsoka season 2 as sort of a palate cleanser and something to get excited about. And that will potentially lead into Dave Filoni's Heir to the Empire movie. And I've been told the Heir to the Empire movie is the film fans are waiting for. Young Luke Skywalker is supposed to be a main player in that. You're going to have Han.
Yeah, so my thing with that is, with bringing the Night Sisters back and all that, and Dathomir, how is that going to play? Obviously, they're going to be changing stuff around. Like, clearly, Sabayoth isn't Sabayoth. It's most likely Balin Skoll, and he's probably going to be empowered by Abeloth. I don't think that we'll even get like a clone of Luke, which would be Luke, like we did in the book. I feel like they are kind of trying to create some sort of like Avengers style movie, like I've said before, where they have, different films and shows that all eventually align into one moment, one timeline, and intersect. And having Boba Fett in Ahsoka season 2 and carrying out all of those characters into the Mando movie, I think eventually will combine everyone together. Now, the character that I would like to see for sure is Cal Kestis in live action. I'm not a huge fan of all of these survivors after Order 66, but I am a fan of Cal Kestis. I do like his character. I love the games. I think the games are great. So I want to see him. I want to see his probably quarrels that he's going to have with Merrin now that the Night Sisters are back and Dathomir's back, and he's going to be like, why are we going back there? No way. And she's like, I need to go back and see my family and all that, and how that's going to play into Bode's kid and essentially the rest of the characters and timeline.
And Leia, it's going to be very much similar to Heir to the Empire from Timothy Zahn's novels. And what I'm saying to you is, if we can just make it to that, I think Star Wars might be okay. I think Star Wars fans might be okay. I mean, if we get a new show based on Maul, right? And then we get Book of Boba Fett season 2 and Boba's back to being a badass, right? And then Ahsoka season 2 is really crazy, trippy, and doing out.
That was a major issue with Boba, is that he was a bitch, right? He was Beta Fett.
No disintegration.
Like a panther.
And Tamora Morrison had a problem with him too, from his sentiments from, at conventions and stuff. I think if they really want to do it right, they need to resurrect his character in the Ahsoka season 2 show. He did say at the end of his show, his god-awful show, that he doesn't want to do this life anymore, that this maybe isn't for him after all of that, So maybe he's going to go off and just be Boba, like from Empire Strikes Back, the cool, stoic, talk way freaking less, like 90% less, and just more action. And, I think that would be the Boba that everyone wants to see, because this Boba just ain't cutting it.
off, and then we set up Heir to the Empire. Like, dude, maybe we can survive the Mando Grogu movie being kind of lame. Maybe we can survive some of the other shows or movies being lame. Like, we might even be able to survive a Rey movie if...
No. He's gone too far.
You've gone too far.
Josh, no.
Dave Filoni truly cooks within the Mandalorian era. Anyway, this video turned way longer than I expected it to. I just wanted to give you these crazy updates, talk about the good news, the bad news, and the potential hope.
The one thing I'll take away from this that I'm very excited for, actually, which I don't think that they would have any possibility of ruining, well, I shouldn't say that, but would be the Darth Maul animation. Now, if they actually go the route which we've all wanted to see, which is the route in the Clone Wars with Son of Dathomir, I think, man, that is a freaking... Dude, that's a home run. Okay, you're going to have peak Clone Wars time. You're going to have Maul breaking out of prison. You're going to have Maul, Dooku, Emperor Palpatine, Grievous, Mother Talzin. You'll have the droids, the Separatist army. You'll have the Mauldalorians, which Death Watch. And I think it's going to bring together so many fans, old, new, all in one, and we're all going to unanimously love Maul's arc and his character progression. I think that's the move. All these other shows, you know, I've been excited for them in the past, and I almost feel like, you know, I'm not going to repeat the same cycle here where I'm going to be super stoked and all that. But look, I am definitely interested with all of these characters coming back, and I would be very concerned for their intellectual well-being if they were to redo all of these characters the same way that they've been doing them, essentially ass writing. So, you know, if Boba was going to come back and he was just going to take a sideline to Fennec and just be a bitch again, I feel like we've all been quite loud enough and we've gotten our point across enough that they're just not going to create the same kind of shit that they did before. And if they do, I mean, shit, I mean, I've been surprised before. So I just don't think that they could ignore it this time. We've had a long enough gap without any Star Wars stuff since... Yeah, I think it was Mando season 3. I can't even remember, bro. That's how long it's literally been. I think they could learn a thing or two, and maybe they'll second guess themselves and be like, all right, well, you know what? Maybe we're not going to do this with this character because he is kind of beloved, and the fans didn't really like it, and clearly we don't know what we're doing, so we should probably listen to them a little bit. That'd be nice.
For the future, when it comes to Star Wars, I think this shit is legit, man. We don't know for sure. Take it as a rumor for now, but this is coming from one of my best sources. Some of you probably remember this, but when the...
Josh is doing that thing where it's like, that you give someone advice and you're like, it's up to you, though. It's totally up to you. It's like, just in case it like ruins their life, you have no responsibility whatsoever.
Got your ass.
Finale of Ahsoka season 1 dropped. I was given a ton of leaks about that finale, and I actually didn't share them publicly, but I wrote them down on a piece of paper before we watched the episode, and all three of those crazy things 100% happened in the finale. This source that just hit me up, same source that gave me that information before the finale. And now he or she is probably dead because Disney has triangulated their information with all of their Disney Mickey Mouse satellites and shit. Sorry. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as I always...
Bro, that is so freaking weird.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Shout out to the Den of Nerds. If you haven't seen this video, go ahead and check it out. Yeah, see, everyone was thinking it's an April Fool's joke. I hope it's not. I think this would definitely be a better choice for them. We would at least get something that's somewhat interesting compared to the slop that we've been getting. So it's really just a matter of time until we wait and see. If you haven't already, go and check out my official Discord, Star Wars Theory sub on, sorry, not Discord, Reddit. Go check out my Reddit. I'm looking for new mods. So if you want to go ahead there, write down some stuff and post, whatever it might be. There's a good little community there, 6.8K people. And it's we're going to start getting it growing now. So anyways, let me know what you think about all of this. Do you even give a shit anymore? I know a lot of people have checked out. I myself have checked out quite a bit, and you've probably noticed from a lot of the content that I have not been uploading. But you know what? I've seen a lot of comments from you guys, such as, this one. Why does he make what ifs anymore? Blah, blah, blah. And someone said some bullshit that was incorrect as always. But then this comment actually kind of got to my heart. It was like, and this is something I see a lot at conventions from you guys, that you do miss the old content. And while I may not be happy with Disney Star Wars, the old content definitely, I was happier making it. The comic books, the what ifs, the lore, the explanations, the versus battles. I want to make time for it. And, they made a cool little rule. They said, impose a rule for every rant video, you have to make 3 about Star Wars or something like that. So like behind the scenes, whatever it might be. I think 3 might be a little bit much. And, I take the word rant loosely, as I feel like I'm really voicing a lot of opinions, which a lot of people have really thanked me for, especially in person. regarding Star Wars and the state it's been, and I feel like I always like to really eloquently and respectfully explain my stance and my feelings and reasons and points as to why I feel a type of way about Star Wars today, or why they're doing this incorrectly, in my opinion. And I think a lot of you, from what I've heard, the consensus I've gotten back is that you really do like it. You appreciate it, because I'm speaking for a lot of us. And so I'm going to continue to do that. But I'd also like to continue to return to the old stuff too, because they are fun. Take with that what you will. Let me know what you think about Ahsoka Season 2 leak. Are you still into it? Are you excited? Do you not care? Let me know. And anything else that you want to post, go ahead and post it on the Reddit. Appreciate you guys at all. As always, go check out the Den of Nerds. Love you all. See you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.